Hi everyone, this is Ellie. The Deimortem era Phase 1 event is now out. This is similar to the Lost Bloodline launch, where a new main story is introduced, which is permanent, but there are time-limited aspects, so please check the event duration in your time zone. Per usual, I have the link to the official patch notes announcement in the video description. Also, because of just like real-life stuff going on, this video and my Illustra guides are up a bit later than usual, so I apologize to anyone who's been waiting for me. Now, before we begin, I want to preface by saying that the new main story takes place after Lost Bloodline, so it is highly recommended to read it after you complete Lost Bloodline. During the event, you only need to clear Common Story 16-3 to access the new main story, but after the event concludes, it's required to finish Lost Bloodline for very valid reasons. So do your best to unlock as much of this event story as possible right now, but leave the reading until later. And as a reminder, I have a recommended reading order document available on my Notion site. Okay, now if we go into the Deimortem era Phase 1 event main screen here, on the left we have the main story. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's where you can access the story. This is a new main story, again, meaning it will be permanent, and the story unlocking materials will still be farmable after this event concludes. And obviously you can access this from the event main screen, which I just showed you, or what you could do is go from the home screen to story up here, and then modern world here, and the Deimortem era section here. So something important to note is you will need to complete Clarence's Route's third stage before you're able to play this event and access this event screen. So if you don't see this screen yet, make sure to just progress through the Clarence route a little bit. And you can basically, generally, you can only unlock the story in a specific order. And actually, the game already gives you the order. You just follow this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 3 routes released with this event: Clarence, Ayn, and Lars. And then in Phase 2, Alkaid and Kale. Their routes will be released. If you're not in a rush and/or you would like to complete the entire Deimortem era story in one go, you may consider waiting to start until Phase 2 is released. But again, this is, new main story, so there's not really that much of a rush in terms of getting through the story. Okay, so there are some battles in the new main story, but they won't require stamina and they don't have like bonus drops from event cards, so using your regular team is fine. The story unlocking item for Phase 1 is this, which is Intel Chip, which you can obtain from City Investigation. You can also do that just directly through Enter Story at the bottom right here, and you say go, and it'll lead you to the City Investigation screen. Also, what you can do is on the top left here, or top-ish left, second on the left, City Investigation, it'll get you to the same screen. So here there are 5 different locations to investigate. Each region has its own investigation progress, as indicated by the percentages, but the investigation progress is shared among male leads. So if you change male leads at the bottom left here, the percentages stay the same. Currently, you can choose Ayn, Clarence, or Lars here as an assistant, basically who you're investigating with, and then Alkaid and Kale will be unlocked or will be added during Phase 2. So each male lead can trigger 6 events at each location, 2 of which are dialogue options where you can get extra investigation progress if you choose the right answer. And for the correct answers, please check out Urzet's text guide in our community Discord server. Once you trigger all of the male leads events at a certain location, you'll be able to auto or sweep that region, but you won't get any bonuses from the dialogue options. Also very important to note, the current time at the bottom left here shows the in-game time. So each in-game day for this event starts at 8. It'll say 8 out of 24 or whatever, and ends at 24. So each investigation takes 2 hours of in-game time. Once the current time here reaches 24, you'll click on the speech bubble next to the male lead, and this will prompt you to reset the in-game day with 300 residence permits, which is dropped from the stamina farming stage for this event. You can also use 60 diamonds to reset the day, but obviously this is not a good idea. Just farm for the residence permits. Now, if we go back to this main screen here, the voucher collection in the middle, this is where you're going to farm materials using stamina. And there are 3 different farming instances, and you can switch between them using the left and right arrows here. So all 3 drop residence permits, which again are needed to reset the in-game clock, as I just mentioned, but the 3 instances drop different types of event shop currency. The Tower's Will is automatically unlocked at the start of the event. To unlock Sleepless City, you need to reach 10% investigation progress at Security Bureau. And then to unlock Temple Ruins, you need to complete Clarence's route of the story. So of note, the drop bonuses from the event illustras differ between the 3 instances. If possible, use or borrow Clarence for Tower's Will, Ayn for Sleepless City, and then Lars for Temple Ruins. During the event, you can farm the event stamina stages up to a total of 99 times per day, as indicated at the bottom here. After the event ends, you can still farm these stages for the residence permits, and there will no longer be like a limit on the number of runs per day, but these instances will not drop event shop currencies because the event shops are not permanent content. Speaking of the event shop, the dark web trades at the top right here is where you can access it. This is time limited content once again. There are 3 different event shops this time. The second and the third are time gated. I do want to mention that the SRs featured here are the free limited event SRs from previous events. It's not recommended to redeem these unless it's for, collection or story or just male lead, that's your man kind of deal. In terms of the materials, it's not worth it to buy Pictura EXP from these shops. Also, I personally don't think the Azure Island random Pictura packs are worth it to buy here either. Okay, and now moving on to the gacha. Per usual, we have the rate up choice feature here. For this event, there are 3 SSRs to choose from. Whichever one you wish for, it's guaranteed that the first event SSR you get is the one that you choose, and the specific rates are listed in the details up here. So, although this is a main story update, these illustras will not be added to the permanent pool, and also like most events we've had, pity for this banner is actually shared. And the detailed illustra guides for this event should already be up on my Notion site, which is linked in the video description and in the pinned comment. Now, just briefly going over the cards. Ayn SSR is a supportive single target that mostly functions as a counter to enemies with dodge and invincibility statuses in high difficulty content. And really, this illustra does what it needs to at ult 1. Clarence's SSR is a solid healer that provides excellent single illustra survivability and also team-wide immunity to dot, or damage over time. The card does perform well on auto. The only time you might need to manual is if you're up against enemies that apply dot, and you kind of need to time the ult. Lars SSR is a dot team sub damage dealer that can apply AoE dot, but dot illustras and teams generally are and will continue to be less preferred. The ult effect here, the probability on it is reliant on ult levels, but in general there are better cards to feed enlightenments to. So in terms of pull recommendation, if you don't have decent SSR healers, you can consider Clarence's. Otherwise, I don't think Clarence's SSR will make a big difference for your account. With that said, please check out the detailed illustra guides and SSR planning guides on my Notion site. In terms of the Pictura this time, there are no new Picturas for Deimortem era released with this event, but I will mention the new Azure Island ones towards the end of this video. Also, there is a time-limited top-up going on for the duration of the event, and you can access this through event at the bottom of the home screen here, and it'll lead you to it. You'll get rewards based on accumulating 180, 380, 680 top-up points each round for a maximum of 14 rounds, and these top-up points will carry over to the next round automatically. And at each of these milestones, you'll gain 1 charge point. And then when you reach 6 and 20 charge points, you'll be able to select 1 Deimortem Phase 1 outfit and 1 Deimortem Phase 1 date background. You can also obtain the Deimortem Phase 1 outfit and date background from the combined pack here, which features 1 outfit, 1 date background, and 4 paints. There is a limited purchase of 1 for this combined pack. But you can also get the outfits from individual outfit packs in shop, pack, and then Deimortem era here, and these actually only feature the specific outfit plus 68 diamonds. As a reminder, this is a time-limited top-up event, so please spend responsibly. And lastly, I want to talk about the time-limited new Azure Island Picturas, which you can access from shop, redeem, and then Pictura over here, and these are the ones down here, or the ones that are in gold. The gold background, basically. So these new Pictura packs include 2-star and 3-star Picturas from Modern, Godheim, and Azure Island, but most importantly, they feature that male lead's Fruitful Future Pictura, which is guaranteed within 15 draws. Keep in mind, though, that each week you can only purchase a maximum of 5 per male lead, unless you use diamonds, but again, it's not really recommended to use diamonds, basically. There are 5 Fruitful Future Picturas, 1 for each male lead. If the corresponding male lead equips the Pictura, there will be additional effect bonuses. From a combat standpoint, only Kales is recommended to grab, but of note, these Picturas do not have Resonance Picturas. Also, as a reminder, these Fruitful Future Picturas are time-limited, and they will not be added to the permanent Pictura pool. And at the very end, this is just a reminder that the Azure Island rerun is going on. Okay, and that'll be all for the video. Please like and subscribe.